Hi everybody, I'm just making sure that the lighting is okay. It seems a little dark, so I'm gonna fix the lighting really quick. Hopefully people can hear me. Hi Piera. You're so funny, you had everybody like telling you what time to come on here. They just don't know how silly you are. So, I'm Carissa of Needle and Anchor Supply Company, and I will be releasing a new pattern this week. Maybe tomorrow, or it might be early Wednesday. It just depends on if it's ready or not. I'm still kind of tweaking things and finishing up everything. Hi Barb. Hi Claret. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I'm doing the recessed zipper panels in my new pattern, which is the Beachcomber tote and handbag. And so I have my recessed zipper panels. I have 3 of them prepped and one with the double-sided tape that I have. It's technically sewing and craft tape, but I like it because it's 1/8 inch, and I bought it through I guess you say Waywack. And technically you're not supposed to stitch through it, but whatever. And it says remove before pressing, laundering, or dry cleaning, but it's gonna be in the seam allowance, so it's fine. So that's what I used on this edge, and I'm also going to show you how I do my turn my zippers. I know there are other ways to do it, but this is just how I do mine. So give me just a second. My dog wants to get up in the window and I had to pick her up. Okay, so I'm going to show how I do turn my zippers. So I have my zipper prepped. I have the pull on it, and I have my zipper end on there. Beautiful. So at the top, because this is 1 1/4 inch wide, I measure down 5/8 of an inch, and I draw a line. So that's 5/8 of an inch, and I drew a little line there. Hopefully everyone can see. I actually did a dry run before doing this video so that my hands weren't in the way, or I knew where I needed to put my hands and everything. So I'm going to stand behind the camera and fold my zipper so everybody can see. So I'm going to open up the zipper tape. See, you can see the lines that I drew at 5/8 of an inch because, like I said, the zipper tape, the width is 1 1/4 inch wide. So what I do is, see where the line is, I pinch that line. I pinch it right there. And then I pull it up to the teeth. I fold it over and I bring that line up to the teeth. And I just use pencil. I like to use mechanical pencils. And then what I'm doing is I'm just pinning that little fold mark. I'll do it again. So the left one always comes out weird for me. I have to do it a couple times just because. So there it's folded, and then I'll stitch the sides down where I have it pinned, and then it'll be secure. So then here I'm going to pinch this line again right here. And like I said, there are other ways to do this, but this is how I do my zippers. And then you bring that line, that folded line, over to the zipper teeth. Actually, that came out perfect this time. So there we go. And see, they're even on both sides. So that's all I did. And then now I'll go and I'll just stitch this. It doesn't matter. I usually use a smaller stitch just so I know it won't pull out. And we'll do that really quick, and then I'll show you the recessed zipper panels. Okay, so my machine is on, but I turned the light off so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So I have it on a 2. I'm going to leave it, actually I'm going to put it on 2.5 because I have pins in there and sometimes I like to sew over them. And a longer stitch, you're better off, okay? And then I just went over it a couple times, did a little back stitch, and it's good. Trim that, take the pin out, and then I just, as long as it's within the seam allowance, you're good. So it doesn't matter if it's crooked stitching, it doesn't matter. You just want to stitch that folded part down. So right here on the edge, and I'm going to go forward. There we go. Take my pen out and trim this. My little handy cutter thing that I got from Amy Butler, actually. She had gifted me a, I want to say a Bloomery box for Christmas once, and that came in it, and it's fantastic. Okay, so there is the zipper. Now I would pull the pull up, but I actually want to keep it, I don't want the bulk of the pull up there right now while we're doing the recessed zipper panels, but if you did, it wouldn't be a problem. You still just want the tape to be nice and straight, and that kind of makes it a little like humpy. So it kind of like puts a little hump there. So I'm going to keep it so that the tape is straight right now. Okay, so for the recessed zipper panels, I have 4, and this is for my tote size, so they're cut. You can use this process in other purses. My recessed panels are the same width as the front and the back exterior panel. It's the same width, but I have gussets on my pattern, so it adds a little bit of more room. But I would say that if you're doing this for a different pattern and you want to do it different, I'm trying to think of the words to say, sorry. If you wanted to use this process, you could make them 1 inch shorter than the width of the panel that you're going to be putting the recessed zipper panel on. And then what you do is I measured in 1 inch, so here's 1 inch on from the end on all 4 of my panels, and on 3 of the panels I put pins in already because we're going to be putting double stick tape on 2 of them so that we can put the zipper on it. We're going to make a zipper sandwich, and then we'll sew it, and I'll show you all that. So on this last one, the one that I didn't prep fully, I'm going to show you what I do. So I have my 1 inch marks. I'm going to put a pin where those 1 inch marks are. I want to just make sure everybody can see me. Okay, so Piera, these, and for everybody watching, this to me is, I don't know about everybody else, but my recessed zipper panels never come out the same length. So I tried to think about what would make it easier, and usually on recessed zipper panels you like fold this end to end. You know, you press in one end and you press in the other end, and then you sew them onto your zipper. Well, inevitably fabric shifts. No matter whether you have a walking foot or not, it's gonna shift. It's fabric. It's part of, it's just the nature of it. So I changed how we're gonna do it. And since these are all the same length and they all are marked within 1 inch, like 1 inch on each end, we're gonna put the zipper within those 2 pins. And I'm gonna show you this more in depth, but I'm just gonna explain it really quick. So we're gonna sew the zipper within those two markings, and then we're gonna adjust those 1 inches on each end so that they're all equal lengths, and then they will come out perfect every time. So let me put some double-sided tape on one of these other ones really quick. Like I said, you could use this on any pattern that has recessed zipper panels. And I actually will, when my pattern writing is not so harried, because right now I'm in the middle of 2 patterns, I will do up a PDF and post it in my group. Post it here in the group for you guys to download, and you can use it as a supplement to any pattern. Because I feel like this is like genius. And I went looking for other ways to do recessed zipper panels, and I've seen so many different ones, and nothing was like this. So I'm not saying I came up, well, I did come up with this because I went looking to make sure I came up with this. So I think it's pretty genius. It's a little bit different, but it's genius. And the first time might take you a little bit longer. Okay, so 2 of these have the double-sided tape on them, and then 2 do not, because those are gonna go on top of the zipper. So here I only need 1 right now. I'm gonna peel off this paper. And I'm going to put the folded edge inside this top pin right here. So I want it to probably, I'm going to say anywhere between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. You want to give a little bit of leeway for when the 2 folded, when the 2 panels are on top and bottom, and they're going to be stitched. You don't want like a big hump there. So I'm just lining this up nice and neat on the edge. And this is a longer zipper. It's like 20 inches long, but we're only going to be sewing through between the 2 pins. And don't stretch your zipper, because that will cause wavy in the zipper. Okay, so here is the zipper. It's attached to the recessed zipper panel with double stick tape. Okay, and now I'm going to put some double stick tape on top of the zipper between the pins, and then we're going to sew it together. So I'm going to try not to get in everybody's way so you can see what I'm doing. I just have to get it started. Okay. There we go. Trying to move my arms out of the way. There we go. So I'm just putting the double stick tape onto the zipper edge. Now I put the zipper face up. It doesn't matter if it's face up or face down. You just want it, you want the zipper panels, when I sandwich them on, you want right sides together. Okay, so now I'm going to, let me make sure that's completely on there. Press it down a little bit. Peel up the edge. And then now I'm going to place another one without double-sided tape on it on top of, and then I'm going to match up the pins. And this is going to be right side down. And I'm going to match that and very gently press that down. What I did is I matched up the pins first, and then I'm pressing it down in between the two. Okay, so now I'm gonna leave the pins because I need to sew between them, and it helps to visualize where to start and stop. Move all my stuff out of the way. Okay, so, and I'm going to sew with, I'm going to sew with 3/8 of an inch. You can do it 1/4, you can do it 3/8, you can do it, for this, it's not going to matter how much zipper tape is showing, so just do it based on your preference of how much zipper tape you want. Sometimes it's nice to have like a contrast. So I'm going to start with like inside the two markings where my pins are. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to make sure my zipper length is right. Yep. I'm going to do a couple stitches, back stitch, and then go forward. Slow down a little bit here at the end. Make sure I don't go past my markings. Back stitch a couple stitches and take that out. Okay, I'm going to take the pins out. Okay, I'm not going to do anything yet because I want to sew the other ones on first before I adjust these. So I'm just going to pin these, pull these away from the zipper. So I'm going to pull both of the zipper panels, the recessed zipper panels, away from the zipper for now. I'm not doing anything with them just yet, and I'm going to clip them so that they're out of my way so I can sew the other side. And then we'll adjust. So I'm pretty excited about my new pattern, and I also have a clutch that will be coming out in about 10 to 12 days-ish. Based on if the testers get done quicker, I might release it sooner. But I want to at least give them a little bit of time to test it and stuff like that. Okay. And it'll be matching visually to my beachcomber tote and handbag. Okay, so these are clipped out of the way. So now we can focus on the other side of the zipper. So this side we need to take my panel that has the double stick tape on it right here. I peel off the paper. Sometimes peeling this paper off is a pain in the tush. So, yeah, I can't get it on that end, so let me try it on this end. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna remember how much space that I did this one. About 1/8 of an inch, I said. Right there. And very gently, don't pull on your fabric or your zipper, and just put your zipper down on top of the double stick tape. Don't force anything, because when you force it, then that's when you get waviness. And if you have a problem, since this is so long, I could have pulled off part of the tape, and as I placed the zipper down, kept pulling the tape off to prevent it from sticking before I wanted it to. This isn't super sticky double-sided tape, so just enough to get the zipper to adhere. Okay, and then this is kind of off. It's repositional, which is another reason why I like it. Okay, so there we go. Make sure it's all nice and flat. So now I'm going to take another line of this and place it on the zipper, on the edge of the zipper here. Now I used all the same fabrics for the top and the bottom of my recessed zipper panels, but if you use two different fabrics, just make sure you put them on in the correct order. And there's that. Make sure it's nice and put on there. And now I'll peel the paper off again. We're making another zipper sandwich. And now I'll take this, and since the first recessed zipper panel on this side was face up, now I take this and put it face down. So I'm going to match up the pins. And then make sure everything matches up here. Like I said, this is for the tote, so it's kind of a long zipper. I actually still have to sew up my tote, so I would show you guys pictures, but I'm not fully finished with it because I have a new way of doing my patterns now. I did diagrams in my patterns, so hopefully they'll be visually easier for people to see, and I increased the font size a little bit and how dark it is. So if anybody has feedback after they purchase this pattern, that would be great. Okay, so now I'm going to sew between these two pins, or 4 pins I should say, these 2 spots, and then we will adjust the ends, and then we can top stitch and everything will be good. So here we go. I'm going to stitch this between the markings. The great thing about learning different techniques of doing things is if you really end up liking it, you can adjust it to other patterns that you have. And I need to, that's pretty good actually. Okay. So then it comes down to basically a mix and match kind of thing once you start building up your bag making skills. Okay, so it gets a little tricky here. I'm going to pull this away just so it's kind of like finger pressed, because right now it just wants to fold in towards the top part of the zipper. And pull my pull-up now too. There we go. So I'm going to finger press this on the edges really quick, just so it's not folding in on itself really. And I'm just pulling on the zipper and then pulling on the fabrics together, and then kind of pinching it to finger press it. You could also use, I have one of these little roller things. I think it's a leather roller from Tandy, but it works great too to press seams if you want, like to finger press them. Okay, so we'll start at the top really quick. So I'm gonna just fold where I know the line is, and then I will fold the other side. You need to do it like this. So I'm gonna fold these so that they're even on both sides. And for now, I'm going to clip this until we get to the other side and see if we have to adjust it. So see, right now, they're even. Even, even, even. You can see that they're even. See, even if I pulled them out, they would be even. So for now, that works. I'm going to do the other side. Fold where the line is. And make those both even. I'm going to, okay, see, here's where I'm going to just kind of eyeball it based on the other edge. So looks like I need to pull it up a little bit. They look even to me. We're gonna find out. So I'm gonna clip it within my seam allowance so that I can pull this away and see how that's gonna look. And so if I go like that, they're even. They look even to me. So I'm happy with that. So, oh, I forgot my glue stick. You could either use a glue stick or double-sided tape at this point. So I don't want to unclip this just yet. I'm going to unclip it carefully, folding all the layers together. And I'm going to glue. Just glue the edge. And then I'm going to come over here, pressing that down with my finger so that the glue kind of sticks to itself. And there's that. Okay, so there's the one side. So because the one side is done, and then I'll just push all those any threads or seam allowance in. I'm going to glue this really quick here too on the edge. All I did was I'm going to glue this so that it's even. It is a little bit fiddly, but I think it's so worth it because if you're making bags and you're going to sell it to someone, you want it to be precise. So there we go. There's one side. Now we will open this up and do the same with this one. Glue. Just make sure that it is even. One last time. Glue. I'm gluing on the seam allowance. It's school glue. Even domestic machines should be able to sew through it with no gunky. It's just school glue and it does dry. And then I'm going to just the raw edge. Oop, I didn't hold it long enough. There we go. Do this one really quick too. This is in my pattern. I'm doing the video just so that everybody has a visual of it. Okay. And now that that is done, I will pull those away and flip them together. And the top part of the zipper is done. So there's the top part of the zipper. You can see that both sides are even. Now we'll come down to the bottom. Hopefully nobody has questions, and hopefully my hands aren't in the way. Okay, so I guess I wasn't in the camera view. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I will make sure, in fact, I will sit behind the camera to make sure I'm within the view. My dog's gonna probably look at me because I'm sitting next to her now. Okay, so I will bring my glue here. I'll make sure I do it this way. So right now, I'm gonna fold it where the lines are. Fold it. Make them flush with the zipper edge. Okay, I'm gonna do it to the other side. See the line? Fold that down. I'm just looking at them right now. That looks even to me. And I'm gonna fold that one down. Those look even. So, nope, that one needs to come up a little bit more. Okay, that looks right. Dawn, is that better? Okay. Perfect. So I'm just gluing this. I'm gonna go ahead and just glue the whole side. There's one side. I'm gonna do this. If the underside was a little bit shorter, as long as it's not peeking out on the exterior side, you're good. It's nice if they're even, but I'm saying if it came up a little bit short, for whatever reason, it's not going to be detrimental to the look of the bag. Okay, so that is pressed good. So I'm going to fold these nice and tight away from the zipper and then clip it so that it can dry while I'm doing the other side. And I'm just rolling the zipper a little bit to make sure that the seams are good. So this side is ready. And now we'll just do the other side. And I'm just going to make sure one more time that it's even. Yep, that looks even to me. Gotta roll my glue up a little bit. Put some glue there. And there we go. Like I said, you could use double-sided tape here. Honestly, I think the glue stick works better just because it's not as permanent. I can pull it away and then reapply if I needed to. So here, I need to move my zipper pull or end out of the way. And we're gonna go ahead and just do this. And this is the underside, so I'm taking care, but I'm just making sure it's gonna be within the top. And then pull these nice and tight. Okay, move my glue out of the way so it doesn't get on the outside of my fabric. And then now I will clip the rest. I'm gonna clip this. And then this will be ready to top stitch. Okay, let me get the other side ready. I know I'm going a little crazy with these, but just making sure that everything is lined up, and I want it to be all pretty. Okay, so now I'm gonna stitch it, and then this will be done. Let me put my glue stick away, ruler away. Okay. And when I start stitching on these, I like to stitch on the raw side first, just to kind of seal it down, you know, so that it's going to be a little wavier because it doesn't have any stitching in it, but I like to get that side sewn down first, and then I do the top stitching. So I am going to, I want to switch my, you know what, I'm not. I was going to use a different foot. I'm going to use this one. Make sure you change your stitch length. When I baste the edges, I do the basting stitch at the same length as the top stitching. So it's usually around 3.5 is what I like. Okay, so this raw edge will get put into between two pieces of fabric, and it'll be hidden. So now when I get to the end here, I need to be a little bit more precise with my stitching. So I need to make sure my and when you pivot, make sure you pivot when the needle is on its way back up, because then you won't get any slanted stitches in the corners. Perfect. This one is perfect. Okay. And if you have any like niggly bits or whatever, you know, like stragglers sticking out, just use some pointy scissors or a nifty stiletto if you have one, which I have one that a group member sent me, and I will show it off soon. Okay, so it gets a little bit thicker here, but that's alright. And I just need to make sure that my stitches are going to be where I want them. So hopefully this method works for everyone else. I know it's, like I said, it's a little bit more work, but I think it is so worth it. Okay. And you could trim these if you want, but I just left them the 1 inch or whatever they end up being. I'm trying not to sew over that tape because I don't know what it would do to my needle. Even though I have an industrial machine, I still don't want to chance it. And I'll make sure my pull is out of the way. And I'm coming up to a corner, so I'm going to put that down, take this off. Just make sure I don't have any stragglers in there. Make sure my pull, I'll just pull that away. I'm just hand cranking it just so that I don't go too far or my stitches don't get all crazy. And make sure that this is on, yep, it's on its way back up. And take that out. And now I'm almost done. Put a little too much gas in there. Okay, one side is done. I'll show it off here real quick. So there's one side. Nice and pretty. Now I'll do the other side. I'm going to start this one a little bit closer to the edge, just so I don't have any shifting, closer to this side so that I don't have any shifting here and it doesn't shift any of my fabric. So, because I want the top to be the same. So on this side I'm starting at the, towards the top. Okay. Just hand cranking so that I know exactly where my stitch is in. Just so it's within the same seam allowance for the top stitching. Oh, perfect. And here we go. Just finger pressing this really quick. Okay, and I'm gonna slow down a little bit here. There we go. Pivot. Nope, I don't like how that is. I want to go slightly more. There we go. Try to manipulate that a little bit. And one last pivot. And now we get to just baste this raw edge. Okay. And it is done. Without pressing, I will show you really quick what it looks like. So here's the top edge, nice and pretty. And here is the bottom. Nice and even. So even and even, and stitches look good and everything looks good. So hopefully that was helpful. Clarette, so you know how like the needle, when you turn the hand dial or you're sewing, it goes down and then on its way back up, before it pulls out of the fabric, on its way back up, that's when you pivot. Sometimes you see like, no, you don't want a diagonal stitch. You want to avoid the diagonal stitch. You just have to wait until the needle is on its way back up and then you pivot. Because that's when it hooks up with the bobbin thread. You have to wait until it's fully done that process. Hopefully this video was helpful to everybody. I don't know if everybody can see that they're even. They're nice and even. I promise they're even here. It looks weird in the camera. I'm looking at it. It doesn't look even, but it is even, I promise. You can see that even. They're even. See, like there. So, and there's the recessed zipper panel. Like I said, if you were going to do it on another bag, if there's no gusset, you probably want to cut your recessed zipper panels an inch shorter, or an inch less wide than the panel it's going to be sewn onto. And then do the 1 inch on each end and do my process. So, like I said, this will be in my pattern, the Beachcomber tote and handbag, which I'm hoping for tomorrow afternoon. Thank you, Clarette. I try. I like things to be nice and pretty. So hopefully tomorrow afternoon is when I have to finish sewing up my tote and then finalizing the pattern. And then I'll have a Beachcomber clutch coming out too. It'll match, and some of my testers actually have already sewn a few, and actually I'll show it off really quick, the one that I did. So right now it has 2 tabs. It won't have 2 tabs. I just kind of screwed up when I did my zipper. But this will be the Beachcomber clutch. So, and it's pieced here, and then I did not put a zipper pocket in it, but it does have zipper pocket in the pattern. And it's almost ready to go to my testers. They have the basic version of it right now. So that's the Beachcomber clutch. And then I will show you my prototype of the tote. I don't know if it'll even show on the camera screen. Let's see. This was my prototype of the Beachcomber tote. It's very big. It will be more wide and slightly less tall than my prototype here, but there's pockets on both sides, kind of like a kangaroo pocket, I guess, like a little pouch. And then here are my different way to do the connectors also. That's why they need the gate rings, so that you can add them in at the end. So you'll connect everything at the end. So this is my prototype of the Beachcomber tote. And it also has that same pocket on the inside. So that is coming in the next couple days. So this is the tote, and I do have a handbag sewn up, but I will debut that maybe tomorrow. So that's the Beachcomber. It'll be a set. And actually, after I have them both posted, I will have a special, and even more exciting, I'm coming up on 1 year of being a pattern designer, so watch out for some fun stuff coming. Claret, which fabric? The one for the clutch is Tulip Pink, and this is, I think, Cotton and Steel. I want to say this is Rashida Coleman Hale fabric from Cotton and Steel, but I believe she's coming out with more of this print on her Ruby Star Society fabric, because, you know, some of the ladies left Cotton and Steel, and they're taking they took some of their designs, of course, and they'll be re-releasing them under their own line of Ruby Star fabric. So hopefully this color will be back, because I love that. And then this, I want to say was, I don't know what this fabric is. I want to say it was a I actually don't know. It came in a bundle. So I will find out and I will let you know. And then this is just a home deck or canvas material from Joann's that matched. So, but gate rings, you can get them through Purse Supplies R Us, I believe. So You Need Hardware has them. I found mine on Amazon under, I think the seller is Bobeey. It's Bobby. And they're really nice quality. And you get them in 2 days with Amazon Prime. So that's even awesomer. Yes, I made that a word. Oh, and the handles, yes. Kelly, so that will be in my pattern too. They're the double-sided and sewn a certain way too. And then of course top stitch so that the gate ring, here I'll show you, so that the gate ring can go through on the end. And they're nice and pieced together here on the inside. So one side is a little bit longer. And what helps with handles is the school glue. when I fold them in, I use school glue and then I press it, and it makes them nice and crisp and makes them really easy to sew through. I like things nice and crisp. So, okay, so that's all the exciting stuff. That's what I've been working really hard on, and I actually need to hurry up and finish making my tote so that I can get this pattern launched so she can set sail for the beachcomber. So everybody pay attention and look up for that in the next 2 days. Definitely by Wednesday. I'm hoping for tomorrow, but definitely by Wednesday. Okay, well, yes, crisp. So I'm gonna head off, and you guys have a lovely afternoon. And I'm signing off. Adios.